Break the board sports. It's Tuesday on the ice. Click that like, hit subscribe. Let's get into all of the games here, going down through each and every one on the slate. We got a big slate, so we're going to try to run through them as much as possible. Toronto Maple Leafs at the Boston Bruins. Maple Leafs minus 140, plus 120 on the comeback for the Bruins. 63% of tickets and 63% of the handle going to the Boston Bruins. 37% of tickets and 37% of the handle going to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, your over under there sets at 6.5. 44% of tickets and 63% of the handle going to the over 6.5. 56% of tickets and 37% of the handle going to the under in this game. Now, when you match them up, Toronto, 10 straight games they've played in have went over the total. They're 6-13 straight up the last 19 versus Boston. So Boston, a 13-6 run over the last 19. They've really owned the Maple Leafs, even though the Maple Leafs have been the better team in hockey. Toronto's went over the total for their last 5 on the road. And we talked about Boston, 13-6 straight up the last 19 versus the Maple Leafs. They're also 7-3 straight up the last 10 when they play the Maple Leafs in Boston. Now, Boston is on a 6-game winning streak, 5 straight at home to add to that. They've played to the over 5 of their last 7, and 4 of the last 5 between these two teams have went over the total as well. When you dive into this, Toronto comes in 8-7-1 straight up, 5-11 on the puck line. Boston 10-7 straight up, 13-4 on the puck line. They've just been absolutely incredible on that puck line. Look, I think one of the first things you got to do, and we've been doing these alt puck lines, been making us a good amount of money this year. Last night, high money line on the Rangers, but it got home for us. That was a big play. But this alt puck line, with the way the Bruins have been covering it, you could put them in an alt puck. You can put them in a parlay plus 2.5, and I'd stick them with the New York Knicks, possibly the Carolina Hurricanes. A couple different ways you could go there. But when I look at this game, I mean, Boston, they just played 3 nights ago in Toronto. Boston won that 5-3. And even though Boston has had the better number and the trends, to me, it's either Toronto or nothing here in the revenge spot. I don't really like laying wood on the road. I know Boston has had the upper hand. Just a good spot, I think, for Toronto. But listen, Boston been playing lights out. I think that alt putt line plus 2.5 in a parlay is the better side. But if I had to play the game straight, I'd take the Maple Leafs just because, again, 3 days ago, Boston went up there and won. Dallas at Ottawa. Ottawa laying $1.22 plus 102 on the comeback. 5.5 is your over under. Now, 75% of ticket count, 78% of the handle going to the over. 25% of tickets, 22% of the handle headed to the under. Now, as far as the side goes, 56% of bets are on the Dallas Stars, equaling 41% of the handle. 44% of bets on the Ottawa Senators, equaling 59% of the handle there. When you look deeper into it, for this game, Dallas 6-3 straight up their last 9. Ottinger's been playing much better in goal. Dallas, though, 6-12 on the road. They've really, really struggled in the road spot. Ottawa, just like Dallas, 6-3 straight up their last 9, but Ottawa's been very good at home. 4-1 as of late. But here's the thing. Both of these teams have played to the over. Dallas, 4 of their last 5 hit the over. Ottawa, 6 of their last 8 hit the over. But look at these two head-to-head trends, and it takes me to, I got to take the Ottawa Senators. The last 18 road games that Dallas has played in, they're 6-12. And Ottawa versus Dallas, Ottawa has won 11 of the last 16. They're 11-5 against the Stars over the last 16. And when they play in Ottawa, Dallas and Ottawa, Ottawa's won 8 straight. Again, $1.22 is exactly where we need to be in this one. I like the Ottawa Senators minus 122. Now, Dallas comes in 9-4-3 straight up, 5-11 on the puck line. Ottawa comes in 8-5-3 straight up, 5-11 on the puck line. Been absolutely phenomenal here. Again, I like the Ottawa Senators to get home for us tonight. Washington Capitals are at the Carolina Hurricanes. Hurricanes minus $1.60, plus 136 on the comeback for the Caps. You're over under 6.5, 68% of bets, 82% of the handle going to the over. 32% of bets, 18% of the handle going to the under in this one. Now, as far as that straight up, 85% of tickets and 88% of the money is siding with the lay in the 160 on the Hurricanes. 15% of bets, only 12% of the handle going to the Washington Capitals for this matchup. Now, Capitals come in 7-7-1 straight up, 8-7 on the puck line. Hurricanes, they've been on a tear. They had that little bump at the beginning of the year, but they've been lights out as of late. 11-4 straight up, 8-7 on the puck line. They've taken 7 of the last 10 meetings versus Washington, and they're on a 4-game winning streak as to where Washington dropped 2 in a row on the road at Tampa last time out, and before that against Pittsburgh. When you dive into some more trends for this one, Washington just 1-6 straight up their last 7. Again, I live here in the nation's capital. I love my Caps, but I told you at the beginning of the season, our very first show, I said this Capitals team is going to take a downslide. And then I started to look like I was dumb because they came out and they were playing decent hockey. Now they're starting to get to the Capitals I thought they'd be. Not only are they 1-6 straight up their last 7, they're 1-4 straight up their last 5 on the road. Carolina 5-1 straight up their last 6. Now, as far as over-under talk, Carolina has played to the over in 7 straight home games. The under, 4 of the last 5 games, Carolina and Washington have hooked up, have went under the total. The overs cashed in the Hurricanes 5 of the last 7 games. But head-to-head, when they play in Carolina, Carolina has won 5 straight against the Caps. They're 4-1 straight up the last 5 overall. And again, the Capitals 1-4 on the road. That brings me to what I was saying earlier. New York Knicks money line, Carolina Hurricanes money line, Bruins plus 2.5, alt puck line plus $1.40. That's good for a play for me tonight. And I'm also going to play the Carolina Hurricanes straight to go along with the Dallas Stars. I like this spot for the Canes. Next one on the board, LA Kings at the Montreal Canadiens. Minus 110 both ways. You're over under 5.5. 73% of tickets, 80% of the handle going to the over. 27% of tickets, 20% of the handle to the under. Now, as far as the side, the money and the ticket count don't match up. Ticket count for the Kings, 38%, but that's only equating to 64% of the money. 62% of tickets is equating to 36% of the money. So totally flipped here. A lot of public on the Canadiens, looking like a lot of pros on the Kings just at first glance here. Now, the Kings, they come into this 7-5-4 straight up, 8-8 on the puck line. Montreal Canadiens come in 10-3-2 straight up, 7-8 on the puck line. Kings have taken 8 of the last 10 matchups between these two teams. They've really dominated the Canadiens, but the Kings have struggled. Outside of winning 8 in a row against Montreal, and they are 5-1 on the road, but they're 7-13 straight up their last 20, as to where Montreal, they're 10-4 straight up their last 14. The under is cashed between these two teams for the last 5, but the Canadiens have played to the over 4 of their last 5 games overall. Now, when these two teams have played in Montreal, the under is cashed 6 of the last 7. I know the Kings got an 8-game winning streak going on here against the Montreal Canadiens, but I like the Canadiens here to get it done today. That would be my lean, not a play. Plays on Senators, Hurricanes, just a lean on the Canadiens. Next one, Calgary Flames at the St. Louis Blues, and the Blues have been a blue disappointment for sure. They're laying minus 155 today, plus 130 on the comeback for the Flames. You're over under 5.5. 74% of ticket count, 85% of the money going to the over. 26% of tickets, 15% of the handle to the under. Now, let's get to that side. 78% of tickets, 85% of the handle going to the Blues. 22% of tickets, 15% of the handle going to the Calgary Flames. Now, listen, Blues have been a disappointment, but the Flames have been god-awful. They're 3-13 straight up their last 16, and they're 1-8 straight up their last 9 on the road. St. Louis hasn't been much better. They've really struggled, and I don't know why this team is this bad. They should be so much better. They're 1-5 straight up their last 6 games at home, and they're 2-9 straight up their last 11 overall. Head-to-head, the over is cashed 4 of the last 6 times between these two teams. The Blues have beat the Calgary Flames in 7 straight games and are 6-1 against the Flames the last 7 in St. Louis. They've really just dominated the Flames, which most people have. Flames 4-11-2 straight up, 8-9 on the puck line. Blues 5-8-3 straight up, 6-10 on the puck line. Again, the Blues 9 of the last 10 and 8 in a row here for them. They just played back in Calgary on October 11th. That was a game in which the Blues won 4-2. Listen, I don't want to lay heavy wood with the Blues, but I will say this: it's either Blues or nothing. You can't bet on something that hasn't happened. And in the last 8, the Flames haven't beat them. For me, it would just be a no play. You can't step out there hoping that you're the one that catches the streak to lose. Sharks and the Minnesota Wild, and the bookmakers really haven't caught up to the San Jose Sharks. They've been playing phenomenal hockey, man. Right now, the Minnesota Wild are laying 220, plus 180 on the comeback for the Wild. You're over under 6.5. 43% of tickets, 69% of the handle is going to the Sharks. 57% of ticket count, 31% of the handle going to the under. 43% of ticket count, 69% of the handle going to the over. 57% of tickets, 31% of the handle going to the under. Now, as far as that side, 70% of all tickets bet are going to the Wild. 44% of the money is what that equates to, as to where only 30% of tickets to the Sharks, equating to 56% of the handle. Like I said, Sharks have been just playing phenomenal hockey. They're 5-1 in their last 6 games. Minnesota 4-1 their last 5. They're starting to play better. The Wild have played to the over 12 of their last 18 games at home, and head-to-head between these two teams, the over is cashed 4 of the last 5. Now, talking about overs, over for the Wild, 6 of their last 9 games overall, and San Jose, 5 of the last 6 on the road have went to the over. So very comparable when it comes to the over. Now, Minnesota, on the other hand, they've dominated the Sharks, 7-1 the last 8. Sharks come in 7-6-3 straight up, 12-4 on the puck line. Wild 7-7-3 straight up, 7-10 on the puck line. Now, the Sharks just beat Minnesota in Minnesota about 10 days ago in overtime, 6-5. Wild again have beat them 7 of the last 10. I do like the Wild here in the comeback spot, but I'm not going to lay that type of price. I'm not laying 220 with the Sharks playing as well as they have now. I think Sharks, again, we talk about those alt totals, Bruins plus 2.5, Sharks plus 2.5, put them with the Knicks and the Hurricanes. But I also think here you could get a little something if you put the Minnesota Wild and the New York Knicks together, minus $1.25. I like the Wild in the revenge spot, but again, I'm just not laying 210 straight. And please, please don't ever lay the puck line. Just think about this. In baseball, 62.7% of the time that a run and a half has laid, it's a loss, right? So what do you think that's going to be in hockey? There's no 3-run homers in hockey. So please don't ever lay the puck line. You might win 1, you might win 2, but over the course of time, you'll be a losing handicapper and you'll really bury yourself. Ducks at the Avalanche. Avalanche laying 238. This one is skyrocketed. Plus 195 on the comeback for the Ducks. You're over under 6.5. 74% of tickets, 91% of the handle going to the over. 26% of tickets, 9% of the handle going to the under. Now, 67% of bets and 75% of the handle are laying it with the Colorado Avalanche. 33% of tickets, 25% of the handle is going to the Ducks here. Now, the Ducks in this spot, 7 straight wins for the Ducks, but Colorado owns Anaheim. They've beat the Ducks 7 of the last 8 matchups between the two. Avalanche, they had that little putter, but now they're starting to play really good hockey. 6-2 their last 8 at home, 5-1 straight up their last 6. Now, Colorado has beat Anaheim 7 of the last 8, but also when they play in Colorado, the Avalanche have beat the Ducks 7 of the last 8 in that scenario as well. But again, I'm not going to bet on the streak to end with the Ducks, and I'm definitely not laying 238 against the Ducks, a team that's on an 8-game win streak, and I got to lay 238. Ducks 11-3-1 on the season, at 10-5 on the puck line. Avalanche 10-1-5 straight up, 8-8 on the puck line. Now the Colorado Avalanche, like we said, 7 of the last 8 have went to them. They haven't played yet this year. I think Ducks in an alt puck line roll, and actually plus the 1.5 minus $1.24. I even like that. But the plus 2.5, you do something with that with the Wild and Knicks. I think you can profit there. If I had to play the game straight, I know the Avalanche dominance over the Ducks, but again, Ducks are on a winning streak. I can't lay 240 with the Avalanche. Again, that alt puck line is what I would look for at the Ducks. Columbus Blue Jackets at the Seattle Kraken. Kraken laying $1.20, even money on the comeback for the Columbus Blue Jackets here. 74% of bets, 66% of the handle, laying it with the Kraken. 26% of bets, 34% of the handle is taking the underdog at even money, Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, you're over under 6.5. Again, money and ticket count doesn't add up here. 30% of tickets going to the over for 79% of the money. Tells me sharp. 70% of ticket count going to the under with 21% of the money here. And so let's dive in and take a look. Blue Jackets 1-4 straight up their last 5 games overall, and they're 3-6 their last 9 versus the Western Conference. They've really struggled. Seattle 2-4 straight up its last 6 games overall, but they're 1-6 straight up their last 7 versus the Eastern Conference. Unders, 6 of the last 9 have went to the under for Seattle, and the Kraken have played to the under 5 of their last 7 games at home overall. But the Kraken and the Blue Jackets, when they match up head-to-head, the Kraken have taken 5 of the last 6 meetings with the Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets 7-7-1 straight up, 10-5 on the puck line. Kraken 7-4-4 straight up, 12-3 on the puck line. Again, they haven't played this year yet. For me, nothing I really want to dive into with this game. If I had to play it, it would be Kraken or pass, but I'm just going to take a pass on this one. Last game on the board for the night, Winnipeg Jets at the Vancouver Canucks. Winnipeg comes in 9-6 straight up, 7-8 on the puck line. Vancouver comes in 8-1 straight up, 8-9 on the puck line. Now, the Jets have taken 7 of the last 10 matchups between these two teams. And Jets laying $1.25 on the road, plus 105 on the comeback for the Canucks. 71% of bets, 72% of the handle going to the Jets. 29% of bets, 28% of the handle going to the Vancouver Canucks. You're over under 5.5. 75% of bets going to the over, 25% of bets going to the under in this one. When you dive in head-to-head, Winnipeg 7-2 straight up their last 9 versus the Canucks, and they're 10-4 straight up the last 14 meetings when they play in Vancouver. So the Jets have had total dominance here. Over has cashed 6 straight games for the Vancouver Canucks, and it's cashed 7 of their last 8 at home, and head-to-head, 5 of the last 7 have cashed to the over. Yes, that's right. It's over or nothing. But Winnipeg here would definitely be my lean. I would lay the $1.25 with the Jets. Again, I can't get away from that trend. 10-4. They're 7-2 straight up against the Canucks, but 10-4 the last 14 in Vancouver. The Winnipeg Jets would be the way to go. So I have a hard lean Jets, probably going to fire on it. I like the Wild in a parlay, but I also like the Sharks plus 2.5 in a parlay. I could see doing Ducks plus 1.5 straight, plus 2.5 in a parlay. I also lean Canadiens, probably going to fire on them tonight. I really like the Carolina Hurricanes, and I like the Ottawa Senators. Click that like, hit subscribe, Break the Board Sports, where we help you become a better handicapper. God bless. Happy Veterans Day, and happy handicapping.